Right, thank you for waiting. If you've just joined, thank you for joining. My name's Amy. I am the Employer Engagement Team Leader at Yeovil College, so I oversee the Apprenticeships team, and we're here today to talk to you about dental apprenticeships at Yeovil College. So just to give you a little bit of background before we get going, dental is one of Yeovil College's key focus areas for apprenticeships, and it's something that we've been working really hard to develop some really good quality apprenticeship training options in, because there is a very worrying skills gap in the dental industry. So just to give you a bit of an idea of what that looks like, for those of you who may not already work in the industry, in the summer, around 90% of dental practices were not taking on any new adult NHS patients. And almost a quarter of Britons are currently not registered with a dentist. So that just goes some way to illustrate the demand that our practices are facing. And, you know, obtaining and retaining skilled staff is critical to remedying that shortage. So we're going to tell you a little bit more now about the apprenticeships that we offer in that area and how you can get involved. Okay, so what is an apprenticeship? An apprenticeship is a real job with hands-on experience. You're employed and supported by a company throughout your apprenticeship, and you're working towards your chosen industry career path, getting real-world hands-on experience. As an apprentice, you have the same rights as any other employee, so you're entitled to annual leave, statutory sick pay, paid parental leave, that sort of thing. You are treated just like any other normal employee. Off-the-job training is a critical part of any apprenticeship. Essentially, off-the-job training helps you gain the knowledge, skills and behaviours of the apprenticeship standard. And that looks typically like a minimum of 20% of your apprenticeship is spent on off-the-job training. Now, there is potentially some college attendance that forms the bulk of that off-the-job training. It really depends on the apprenticeship standard. So some apprenticeship standards have no college attendance at all. Some have a day or two a week. Others, you'll come to us for block weeks. It really depends on the course that you're looking to undertake. In addition to the college attendance or the assessor sessions that you would have throughout your apprenticeship, you'll build a portfolio of evidence. So you'll have to do task write-ups, assignments. Sometimes you'll submit pictorial evidence as well, to show that you are working towards those knowledge, skills and behaviours of the apprenticeship standard. Part of that portfolio also contains your time log, and your time log is essentially your record of all the off-the-job training that you've done throughout your apprenticeship. As part of the apprenticeship, you'll also have a dedicated assessor to support with your training. So they will meet with you kind of every 6 to 8 weeks. They will do reviews with you and your employer to make sure that you're on track with your apprenticeship programme, that you're happy in work, and that you're covering everything that you need to do for your apprenticeship. So they'll be your main point of contact throughout the apprenticeship, and they will signpost you throughout. English and maths is also a really important part of any apprenticeship. So for our dental courses, entry requirements are a GCSE grade 4 or C in old grades or above, or other relevant qualification for you to be accepted onto the apprenticeship. In some cases, we may accept you onto the apprenticeship without those prior English and maths qualifications. It totally depends on your situation. So if you're someone who's worked in the industry for quite a long time and your employer is happy to support you through functional skills, then we will do that as part of your apprenticeship. So what that means is that if you need to do maths, you'll come to us for 2 full weeks to do your maths, and English is 1 full week at college. That level 2 functional skills qualification that you would achieve is the same, it's equivalent of a GCSE at a grade C or a grade 4. The other really important part of the endpoint of the apprenticeship is the endpoint assessment. Now, that endpoint assessment is usually split into 3 parts. So you have a multiple choice exam, which typically takes place online, some form of observational practical skills application test, and a professional discussion. So I guess think of the endpoint assessment as like the driving test of the apprenticeship, because it's not done by your Yeovil College assessor, it's done by an independent endpoint assessor, and that ensures that everyone is qualifying this apprenticeship to the same standard. Then the other really good thing about the endpoint assessment is that your college assessor will probably be the one to prompt you and say, look, you've covered everything you need to cover. I think you're ready to go forward for endpoint assessment. But you as the apprentice and your employer also have to agree that you're ready. So it is our aim to put people forward for endpoint assessment, giving them the absolute best opportunity to pass that. So if you don't feel that you're quite ready and you need a bit of a refresher in a certain area, we would work with you and your employer to ensure that happens. So what are some of the benefits of an apprenticeship? So obviously you earn a wage while you're learning. That is currently the national minimum wage for apprentices in their first year is currently £5.28. That does rise to £6.40 from April, and that wage is applicable to anyone in the first year of their apprenticeship, regardless of their age. When you're in the second year of your apprenticeship, and if you're aged 19 or over, then the national minimum wage rate for your age group applies. That said, just because you're an apprentice, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are only going to earn the national minimum wage rate. It's a baseline. A lot of employers do choose to pay more, particularly where they're recruiting older apprentices, because, generally, if you're a little bit more experienced in years, you've got more life costs to go along with that as well. So they will pay you a little bit more. Other benefits of an apprenticeship include job-specific and transferable skills, nationally recognised qualifications. So some apprenticeships also contain degrees, diplomas, HNCs, HNDs. So you can work towards that as well. It gives you the opportunity to advance in your chosen career. You can, once you've completed your apprenticeship, look at advancing to higher level apprenticeships or go into university or higher education if you want to. We have a Yeovil College University Centre right here on campus, so you don't even have to travel a great distance to achieve those higher level qualifications if you don't want to. You increase your future earnings potential, partly because your foot is on that career ladder sooner, but also you're not just getting the relevant qualification, you are getting that really important real world experience as well. Finally, I think one of the nicer perks for you as the apprentice is there are absolutely no course fees attached to doing an apprenticeship. Even if you're working towards a degree, you won't pay a penny of that, so no student loans to pay back. Your employer will be supporting you with the cost of that. So I think you probably agree with me, it's quite an attractive option for a lot of people. So not only you excel in your career and getting a qualification, but you've got the support of a college and your employer as well. So let's move on and talk a little bit about our offer at Yeovil College for dental. So the first dental course that we offered here at the college was Dental Nursing Level 3. That is an 18-month apprenticeship programme, and then you'll have a few months on the end of that in which to do your endpoint assessment. So a dental nurse apprentice will provide chairside support and ensure high standards of cleanliness and infection control. Apprentices will prepare instruments, materials and medicaments for dental procedures, mix materials, sterilise instruments, keep records, note dictation, carry out stock control and ensure patient comfort and safety throughout their visit. As part of that apprenticeship standard, you'll also work towards and achieve the Level 3 diploma in the Principles and Practice of Dental Nursing, which is a GDC registrable qualification. You can't actually complete the apprenticeship and go to the endpoint assessment without working towards that qualification. And once you've done all of that, that means that you can be employed in the industry as a dental nurse. You've got your Level 3 qualification and you can work independently. The more recent course that we have launched at Yeovil College is the Oral Health Practitioner Level 4 apprenticeship. We started our first group on that this year. That is a 14-month programme, so ever so slightly shorter. And again, the endpoint assessment period is tagged onto the end of that. So a lot of people might not know what an oral health practitioner is. So they will carry out the additional duties of a dental nurse, which includes taking impressions, carrying out intraoral scanning, applying topical fluoride, carrying out plaque indices, and undertaking intra and extraoral photography. In addition, apprentices will be trained to profile areas for health inequalities and plan and deliver systemic health interventions. So it's a really nice progression route for those of you that are level 3 qualified and are looking to kind of take your career to the next step, maybe obtain some more skills and qualifications that will kind of maybe attract a bit more money for you, but also expand your wider skill set. As part of that apprenticeship, you will also obtain a Royal Society of Public Health Level 4 diploma for oral health practitioners. And to be accepted onto the level 4 programme, you must have your English and maths already. You must already have your level 3 dental nurse qualification and GDC registration. And we will ask to see your GDC registration number before accepting you onto course, because it's really important that you have that before starting with us. So there are actually a couple of other standards that we offer within dental. So these are more aligned to dental labs as opposed to practices, but a lot of practices are actually looking at setting up their own labs or have their in-house labs now. So the skills are crossing over slightly. So we offer the laboratory technician level 3. That's on the digital dental pathway, and that contains the traditional craft skills of a dental technician, casting models, making dentures, crowns and bridges, bite registration, mouth guards, splints, orthodontic appliances. But it also brings in some of the new technologies, so digital dentistry skills and techniques, including scanning, computer-aided design, 3D printing, and milling a range of dental appliances. Now that standard is quite interesting because it's actually suitable for totally new entrants to the industry. So you could be someone that, I don't know, you've been a chef previously and you fancy a career change, and you want to come and work in a lab. You can do the apprenticeship to support your knowledge and skills development in that area. But it might also be that you are looking to upskill. So maybe you've worked in a lab for a little while, and you're looking to get some of that technical knowledge and kind of fine tune your skills. The apprenticeship is the perfect option to do that. We have also in the last year seen quite a few dental nurses. So they're qualified level 3 dental nurses, but they're looking to take a slightly different step because they want to get more hands-on with the technology. But also it's a great opportunity for them because they understand the patient impact of what they're doing in the lab. So it could be quite a nice sidestep if you do work in dental but fancy a bit of a change. The other one we offer is Dental Technician Level 5. That is an entirely new course this year. So that is essentially the step up from the Level 3. It is about designing, manufacturing, modifying and repairing custom-made dental appliances, including crown and bridge, dentures and orthodontics. It contains theoretical knowledge of anatomy, materials and legislation. You'll gain a really solid understanding of digital dental technology and laboratory management. And as part of that apprenticeship, you'll also get a foundation degree in dental technology awarded by the Open University. So we have partnered with them to make that possible. That level 5 is actually a GDC registrable qualification. So you can become a registered dental technician upon completion of the apprenticeship. And that apprenticeship is really suitable for very experienced technicians, so people that have a lot of years of experience under their belt working in a lab, or people that have come on from the level 3 lab tech apprenticeship as well. And you would typically need 48 UCAS points to access that apprenticeship. All of those 4 apprenticeship options that we've just talked about, so the dental nurse level 3, the oral health practitioner level 4, lab tech level 3 and dental technician level 5. They all contain some form of college attendance. So dental nursing is 1 day a week at college. Oral health practitioner is about 2 to 3 days per month in college. And then for the lab side of things, it's essentially 1 week in, 1 week remote lessons. So it's quite a flexible delivery model for those. Okay, so that's a really brief overview of dental apprenticeships at Yeovil College. We really welcome the opportunity to talk with you more in more detail and answer any specific questions you've got. I'm just going to pass over to my colleague James to find out if we've had any questions in the chat.
No, it's nothing in the chat.
Nothing in the chat. Okay, great. So thank you very much for attending the webinar today. I hope that you have found it useful. If you do have any questions, please do email them through to apprenticeships@yeovil.ac.uk. If there are any employers on the webinar that are interested in finding out more, please also get in touch. We'd love to hear from you, and we can talk about how we can support you with the apprenticeship journey as well. Finally, if you know that 100% one of these courses is what you want to do, please do find the course on our website via the web link www.yeovil.ac.uk and fill out a course application form, and one of the team will be in touch. Thank you.